you were portrayed a certain way or compared to big names or predicted to do certain things. How did that shape you into who you are in college today?
Yeah, that's a good question. Again, like everybody does well. Everybody that does well in high school gets compared to somebody, and it's tough because I think it takes away from both people. Comparison is the thief of joy. So I think that whatever people do to get clicks or whatever, I've come to learn that nobody in media is a friend. No matter what they are to you, no matter the narrative that they so choose to develop around you. I've learned that, nobody really cares about the individual. So you have to do things through, your character, the way you carry yourself, through performance that generate your own narrative. And so if you're lucky enough to deliver on a performance perspective, you can, do some things. It's like, all right, you can't really talk to me about that anymore because it's done. But, for better or for worse, it's just like, these are things that force you to mature at a pretty early age. And so, no, I have no regrets about any kind of step in my career. I think we're all so different. So, you want to compare person to person. It's just like, there's no real point in doing that because people have different motivations. People have different things that they want to pursue. There could be, some age grouper out there that is, a world-class violinist, but also has times that, the rest of the swimming world would see as amazing. And, he has no other options. But it's like people are really well-rounded. And so I think trying to make comparisons to people is unfair to them. And it's unfair to the people who have gone on to do said things. But I've just tried to stay level as my career has developed and understand that, there's so many ways to define a successful career. And I think if you can kind of keep it simple for yourself, then the rest will kind of fall into place. It won't make things like super big or super like, oh my goodness, because I've learned again over time that media, people on the street, sometimes even your friends, can just like blow things up in ways that they really aren't. Yeah. So as long as you just keep your own reality within perspective and obviously not try to dampen other people's moods, but move through your day in a way it's like, oh, I'm going to keep these things within a certain frame of priority and I'm going to do things my way. If you've, again, have a track record that you're pretty comfortable with and you have a process that, you're able to learn through, I think, the world can be yours. But you just have to not get caught up in all that comes with this outside noise. And so I think if anything, if that's shaped anything for me, I've learned how to quiet out noise probably more than, my high school self did.
At what age did you realize that, or at what age did you learn that?
Media attention started to come when I was 12. There are interviews out there of me, with round glasses.
I saw them.
as a youngster, and there are kids even younger now. I think like Destin Lasco on our team. There are videos of Destin when he was like a 10-year-old that are out there asking pretty tough questions. The questions that I couldn't imagine myself asking a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old. You just have to like realize these things.
It's also crazy to me, like, why do you care to cover media on a 10-year-old?
Exactly. It's a I guess I've never really spoken about it, but it can be me. it can be me. I can do that. You know, obviously, I hope that, you know, I will obviously invest in my kids. And so that, I think when you invest in kids, in your own kids, it's like very natural for you to help them go through life and help them figure things out, just like my parents did for me. But in terms of somebody else, I just don't get it. So I'm not gonna like speak poorly about it. I'm not gonna speak positively about it, because I just don't know the space in my just understanding and the way my brain works. I just don't. I just couldn't see myself ever doing that. So I'm sure that, you know, folks in media and folks that are good at their job, and, you know, journalists that are practicing journalism for themselves and not for just clicks, XYZ, or to project a narrative on somebody that they don't like or do like. You know, there's truly non-biased work. I think, you know, there are probably great reasons for it, and I'm not a journalist, so you're going to have to ask them. But in terms of my perspective, from an athlete's perspective, I just don't even understand just that side of life. And so I just choose not to really dwell on it. I just try to focus on what I'm good at.
If you like this clip, then you'll probably like the full episode as well. Make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel for more.